Liberia is a small country located on the west coast of Africa. Beginning as a settlement of the American Colonization Society for the repatriation of free slaves, Liberia declared its independence on July 26, 1847, becoming Africa's first and oldest republic. On April 12, 1980, Liberia's economic and political stability was threatened, resulting in 14 years of civil conflict, leaving the country in total chaos. The educational system of the country was severely ravaged, leading to inadequate schools as well as a lack of qualified teachers.
During the war, of course, schools were interrupted. Schools were damaged or completely destroyed. I have traveled to all 15 counties in Liberia. In our schools that were deroofed, schools that had no doors, no windows, no materials at all, and seeing how we could reopen those schools.
After enduring decades of civil war, Liberians of all ages are now incredibly motivated in pursuing education to make up for lost time and to gain the skills to build their country's future. But the educational system in Liberia is not the best, and pass rates on the National West African Examinations exam, the Waec exams, have been extremely poor.
Last 5 years, we've realized a declining result in all public tests. First to the Waec, and later on when we piloted the Waec exam, it suggested to us that our students were not up to the task that other students in the sub-region.
For those not so familiar with why the Waec is important, all secondary students in Liberia and West Africa for that matter who wish to go on to university must pass the Waec exams. Funded primarily to use a data-driven approach in increasing student achievement and empowering teachers, the Liberian Institute for the Promotion of Academic Excellence, LIPIS, instead took it upon themselves to try to understand the situation and the root of the problem. So my name is Benjamin. I'm from Virginia. I'm the Executive Director of the Liberian Institute for the Promotion of Academic Excellence. Primarily I manage the day-to-day affairs of the institution, try to maintain partner relationships. At the same time, ensures that the design of our projects are innovative and are addressing Liberia's literacy needs. LIPIS is working using research-driven skills. They designed a pilot Turning the Tide project. With no external support, the Turning the Tide project in 2011 helped reduce the massive failures of students on the national exams in Liberia. LIPIS organized 4 separate after-school tutorials free of charge for secondary students sitting the national exam across Montserrat, Bomi, and Bapolu counties. At the end of the first year, 75% of students participating in the tutorial passed the Waec exam, as compared to national passing average of 51%. The impact of our project was very, very impressive. But then we realized that the skill was so low. We were reaching out to only 10% of the annual exam takers. So there was a need for us to scale it up. So how could we reach out to students across all of the 15 counties? And then we said, what if we provide these students with a tool that irrespective of where they are, they could be able to have access to it.
Students will not get detailed information concerning that topic, but instead we were talking about organic chemistry. Another teacher will go and give short information about organic chemistry and pull up few structures on board. Now, that alone will not benefit us or will not give us the opportunity to be successful in the Waec. So what do you think we can do to at least put those things into practice?
At LIPIS, a conversation was started on the best way possible to scale the impacts and reduce the massive failures of students on the Waec exams. This realization led to the design and publication of post-war Liberia's first study guide for students sitting the Waec exams, Waec in Review.
And this design actually seek to address the emerging problem in our education system as regards the Waec exam and public tests in our country. For the last this project, I have had the opportunity to go through the Waec in Review, first of its kind in Liberia. Suggests that our students, if they go through that review properly, they will be not only ready to take the exam in terms of the content, but even the instructions. They will understand the instructions very well. They will understand the gene of the exam. They will understand everything that the exam entails.
In early 2015, the Ministry of Education in Liberia issued a letter of approbation for the use of the study guide in all schools across Liberia.
Well, the Waec in Review project that is undertaken by LIPIS is such that it's in two folds. The first one is the interactive series, wherein we are to go to the schools to talk to the students, to give them basic ideas about the rules, the rubrics, the do's and don'ts of Waec. And the next part is the content areas, that is those ones that the teachers at the various schools are to do. Session that we have with the students is just aimed at gearing how we can better explain to them those things that they are to know when they are to enter the Waec hall. We at LIPIS think that it's important that students get to know that, and the only way we think that we can help reach out to them is by having an interactive series with them. That is, we ask them questions, we explain, and then we get to know how they think about it, what is their own input, how can we better help, how can they understand these rules and rubrics, how do they apply to the test when they are taking the test. So basically that's what the whole interactive series, as the name depicts, is interactive, because we get to talk to the students and the students get to respond. We get to answer those questions that they have on mind as it relates to how the test is governed, who governs the test. Those are the basic things that we do when we are having the interactive series.
The affordability of the guide is evidenced by the fact that the guide is nearly 45% cheaper than the price of a secondary textbook in Liberia. It is anticipated that more than 12,000 students will have had access to the guide by the end of the 2016-2017 school year, representing more than 50% of the annual exam takers. LIPIS hope to ensure access to the guide for all students across Liberia, thereby increasing passing rates on the Waec exam.
Waec helped me a lot to take away fear of the big goal, to get confident in me that I do the best.
It makes me more confident in the sense that because it provides me topics and other lessons in that book that when I study this topic or when I read within this book, I'm sure of passing. I'm really 100% sure of passing because it provides me some basic information that I need to know as a senior or student of Liberia.
I'm more confident because it has all the sections that are involved in the exams. There is a gateway in passing the exam, but it has all necessary information.
The task ahead may be daunting, but the inevitable returns of building a globally competitive educational system in Liberia is worth everything, and LIPIS' work justifies that.